Las Vegas rocks all around the clock. Las Vegas rocks, 'cause this town never stops. Las Vegas rocks all around the clock, 'cause this town never stops. Las Vegas rocks.
Las Vegas rocks.
It's the Las Vegas Rocks radio show, the show before the show. Join us for a fast-paced hour of celebrity interviews and entertainment news. And now, here's Ron.
Well, Las Vegas rocks.
Las Vegas.
And everybody, welcome to the Las Vegas Rocks radio show. Join me as we welcome talk show host, producer, Jonathan Scott Entertainment, Vegas Up all, what is it? Vegas Nonstop?
Vegas Nonstop.
Vegas Nonstop and a bunch of other things. He's a big boss here in town. He has a couple of great shows. Everybody knows Jonathan Scott. How you doing today? We'll be chatting with you in just a little bit, okay? Sitting next to Jonathan is a country star. He's Kevin Gardner Rose.
Thank you for having me, Ron.
Kevin's got a brand new album out there right now, Living in the Country, and we're going to play some hits off that.
Sounds good to me.
And the first one we'll play is probably one of your releases, right?
Yes, it
Your
is.
first release. Over there is, grab a mic there, Lou. Over there is Lou Gazzara. Lou, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking.
You got anything to announce today, or did I already do it for you?
We just received a brand new Electrolux washer and dryer set.
Wow.
If that doesn't that sound like old school radio for
That
you,
is
right?
and you have one. What's behind the curtain, Johnny?
Your supply of turtle wax. That's turtle wax for the life and luster of your car. What would you do for a Klondike bar?
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
So we're going to be talking to Lou, and then with over there is holding his ear up to the headset because he thinks he's Gary Owens tonight.
I have the Gary Owens headset, and thanks a lot for having me on, Ron.
Len Connell to talk about the VA a little bit more, huh?
Exactly.
A couple of things we forgot. All the VA guys have to get their money. There's no doubt about it. On the phone right now is we have a mic up there. Hey, Barbara.
Hey, Ron.
How you doing, Barbara Brighton on the phone? Hang in there, kiddo. We'll be right with you. Also coming up at half hour, Rose Kingsley, our newest diva. And also a surprise call. It's not a surprise. I'm going to tell you right now. A surprise call-in from Sally Olson and Ned Mills to join Barbara and talk about the show coming up. I think there's, 2 weeks left, Barbara, on the Carpenter show?
Tuesday for me.
Tuesday for you, but how many weeks left on the show itself?
June 16th, I believe, is their
so
last.
So it's this week, next week rather than the week after.
This week. I mean, next week.
Okay,
16th.
thanks, Barbara.
Yeah.
Barbara, take a look at the calendar. You'll be all right, okay? You're on the, what are you, on the 8th, Barbara?
Yes, I am on the 8th.
Okay, hang in there. So we also want to say hello to and do our shout-outs this morning. First up is my sweetie. She's listening, my biggest fan. Tammy, honey, love you and enjoy the show. Rob Garrett over Chianti tonight. I don't know what's going on over there. I better bring it up. I've got it on my phone. Johnny Fortuno.
Yeah, he's back again.
That's
he flew
right.
in from Hawaii.
He flew in from Hawaii. Johnny Fortuno. You can leave the mic there till I go to Len, and we'll get to it, okay? So we don't have that back and forth. Johnny Fortuno, and he's there both night. Was he there last night too?
Tonight and tomorrow. I guess yes. Last night I think was his Elvis tribute, and then he's doing it himself. A lot of that stepping out of the box we've seen this year, right?
Well, you
Especially
guys share a couple of fans. What's that? Susan Garcia and Maureen Finch.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Maureen's a sweetie too.
And
She
they wear
shows
your
up
T-shirts. And who's the other one? Inga
and Jack Garvin. They showed up at the show that we just had at the Italian American Club with the big Lou Gazzara, the Rhinestones, and everything else.
And then 2 hours later, they were over at Chianti with the Neil Diamond shirts on, right?
They flip him inside out, I think.
Oh, they went to see Johnny Fortuno, or is it Neil?
No, I think they went to see Rob
Garrett,
yeah, Neil Diamond.
Well, let's see who's out there tonight. Listen to this. Evan Davis lists my show, this one. Listen to Ron Garrett's The Las Vegas Rocks radio show on his page. Michael Ross Nugent is at the El Cortez tonight. Kent Foote and the fabulous Goodfellas are over at the Italian American Club tonight. Randy Anderson. You know Randy, Kevin? He's a good country guy, huh? He's at Ichabod's. Nicholas Cole is playing in the lounge. What a sweetheart Nick is.
Absolutely.
The Vegas Room tomorrow, Vita Drew and a bunch of others. Marty Mancuso at Bella Vita, and a whole bunch of guys are out there. Let's also say hello to Jerry Walker and Marty Carmel up in Reno. Barbara Brighton's on the phone. The Italian American Club, where I had the pleasure of speaking with last Wednesday. Ben, speaking at, not speaking with. Ben over there, Ben Casaro, Angelo. Ben Spano, Angelo Cassaro, Jimmy Gerard, and Janine Pritchard. How you guys doing? Evan Davis, we are welcoming you to the show in a couple of weeks. Gene Ferrari in where is he, at Fort Myers? Hey, Gene, we hope when you get back to town, Janet Conway, your promotion girl, is heading down to visit with you and get some plans together to make a visit to Vegas very soon. We love Neil Portnoy and Aaron Phillips. You guys watched them today on
absolutely.
Two brothers from different mothers, or twin brothers from different mothers. Norm Miller, how you doing, Norm? He is the producer and hubby of Rose Kingsley. She'll be calling in just about half hour. Johnny Scaglione, still in Costa Rica. PJ Giamaria, he says he's in Nebraska. What are you doing in Nebraska, PJ? And David Arciero, who's been trying to go to Vietnam and then Cambodia to run a hotel.
I've got the best John Scaglione story ever.
Well, let me come right to it, okay? Let me finish this. Come on back. David is not going to go, and I'm trying to talk him in coming back to Las Vegas. So we'll do that as well. So, what is your Johnny Scaglione story?
Well,
is it a positive story?
It's a funny story.
Oh, go ahead.
Johnny Skaggs is a Chicago guy.
Yeah.
And he called me up one night, and he said, Johnny, you got to help me out. We're out here in Vegas. He said, my cousin was in Chicago, and he had a little bit to drink, and he was on Rush Street, and he went through a plate glass window at about 4 in the morning. Can you help get him out of the slammer? I'd get a hold of a guy, and we'd get him out. What Johnny Scaglione forgot to tell me was the plate window that he went through happened to be a bank window. He left that part of the story out. Johnny Skaggs.
Well, he moved to Costa Rica. Now he's coming back.
Well, he comes back and forth, it seems.
Does he have a house there?
I don't know what his whether he's living in a hut or
a
minute.
Jonathan, he produces shows downtown. He does rock shows or metal shows, right?
I've known him for years and knew him from Chicago. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy, yeah.
But it's a funny story. He forgot to tell me it's a bank window that the guy went through.
A bank window?
Yeah, not just a window.
Well, we're going to take a break right now and come back and start talking to everybody. On the break, we're going to listen to Alcohol, Tobacco, and Gasoline by Whiskey Tenor.
Thank you.
Maybe it wasn't that funny of a story. I thought it was a funny story.
Alcohol and tobacco, guns and gasoline. Uncle Sam's making a killing by taxing the hell out of me. Bankers and the Congress, the Senate and the Press, all they do is pass the buck. Why can't they give it a rest? It's a constitutional nightmare in the good old USA. The welfare man don't want to work while the working man has to pay. Time for a revolution, American holiday. Hey, hey, tell all the politicians to kiss my ass. God bless the USA. The East Coast to the West Coast and everything in between. We all need to stick together. Y'all know what I mean. Keep America beautiful. It's up to me and you. United we stand. The red, the white, and blue gonna wave.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gordon Christensen, and if you're a dentist as I am, or you know a dentist, please take a moment to listen. When I became a dentist, I learned how quickly poor oral health can lead to other serious health problems. And for people without access to care, these problems can spiral very quickly. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how I could until I joined Dental Lifeline Network. It's a nonprofit that has helped us literally change the lives of people in our communities. DLN asked dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need in your area. It's very simple. DLN screens those in need and coordinates an initial appointment that takes place in the comfort of the dentist's own office and on their schedule. Right now, there's a wait list for patients in need in your community. I'm asking fellow dentists who will join me in seeing one patient per year.
Learn more about Dental Lifeline Network at willyouseeone.org. That's willyouseeone.org.
And we're back on the Las Vegas Rocks radio show. I'm Ron Garrett, your host on AM 670 KMZQ. And we have Jonathan Scott, Kevin Gardner Rose, Lou Gazzara, and Len Connell inside. And on the phone right now is Barba Brighton. Hey, Barbara, you're out there, right?
Hey, darling, and I'm watching you at the same time. I can't believe this technology.
Can you hear it?
Yes,
did you hear your? Did you hear?
I sure can.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Of course I can hear you. I'm talking to you right now. Can I hear you?
I'm telling you, I think it's fabulous technology.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's real simple. You're just talking to a microphone, and it seems to work every time. It's not too
and
much
I can
trouble.
see you all at the same time.
You can, huh? Let's talk to Jonathan Scott. Hang in there, Barbara. We're going to get to you in just a minute. As a matter of fact, you can join in if you wish. I did find a couple of things on you, Jonathan. First of all, you are a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
You were inducted to the Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2016.
Right.
Your hometown, I couldn't find that. Where is it?
You found Chicago. Come on.
Chicago.
Yeah.
I looked at all your pages, Jonathan, too. I like to do research. I learned all about Kevin,
Good.
And your probation officer just called Kevin. Anyway, I'm only kidding, of course. I learned about Kevin, but I couldn't find much on you. I do know that you're a February baby. You were born on February 19th.
February 19th.
I grabbed that out. And you are 66 years old.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Route 66.
You don't look it. That's what everybody says.
It's a good day when you wake up and nothing hurts, Ron.
Jonathan. When people start doing this, how old are you? Oh, I'm 66. You look good.
I know.
You look good.
I know. You look good for 66.
And that's when there's a problem, right
yes,
there.
I know.
You look good.
I know. Clean living.
I
say
found
clean
nothing
living.
here. No schools. No travels. I know that you did the 15th anniversary of the Composer Showcase.
Yeah,
that was a while back.
I love
right?
that. It's one
With,
of my
Keith
favorite
Thompson.
shows. Yeah, KT's great.
Down in notoriety.
Yeah, and I love that they introduce new talent every month, and it is really one of my favorite shows. And I recommend it to anybody that hasn't seen it.
What's it called?
The Composer Showcase. It was at the Smith Center for I think 5 or 6 years until pandemic, and now it's been at Notoriety, which is where I'm going tonight.
Is there a show there tonight?
Jeremy Piven is doing stand-up tonight.
Jeremy Piven?
With my friend John D. Domenico, the #1 Trump impersonator
John's great.
in the world.
What was that?
Austin
I just saw Jeremy in a movie called Smoking Aces. I was watching that the other night.
Yeah, another Chicago guy, and his parents actually had an acting school, the Piven Theater Workshop. And I got in trouble one time. I had a cigar magazine for years, and I put a picture of Jeremy Piven smoking a cigar, and I met his dad, Bern Piven, and he said, and I had it captioned as Jeremy Piven's father. He said, I was acting before he was sperm.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so and the Cusacks all started at the Piven Theater Workshop as well. So, yeah, I'm a Chicago guy.
The thing you're most noted for that I can remember, and of course this would be me remembering these things, are your Sapphires strip club pool parties.
Yes. I've had a diverse...
Well, before we go there, I want to make sure that we go a little later in the hour so there's an older audience listening. And
I mean, I don't have anything other than, great things to say about Peter Feinstein and the Feinstein family.
That's not what I'm going to ask you, so
okay.
Just hang in there. We're going to talk about the ladies in the pool, not the people who ran the whole right?
The earlobe
when I was 20, I would have paid them.
I know, but you had a good run. Are you going to do it again this year?
I hope so. I love doing it,
Well,
and
we're
the
going
guys
to find out
here
what
love
doing
it.
it means.
I do a live podcast from a cabana. They give me a cabana and bottle service and feed me, and I'll invite people just like you do, and we do a live podcast from the Sapphire Pool.
Hey, Barbara.
Nice.
Yeah, I heard it. I
know. I just want to know how many times you've been over there when you've been in the pool, right, in your bikini when Jonathan's been over there. Is that right?
No, but one time I went to the Sapphire, and I couldn't believe the bodies that I saw in the Sapphire.
Barbara used to be a 38 double D. Now she's a 42 long. Grow up.
That's her joke, right? That's her joke anyway.
Grow up.
Hey, Barbara, hang in there. We're going to play a cut of all that jazz that you did. I picked that up. But first, I want to say hello to Kevin Gardner Rose.
Thank you for having me, Ron. It's a pleasure to be here.
I did a little better with you, Kevin, than I did with Jonathan. I think Jonathan's hiding from somebody. But you're a senior technician at the IBEW. That's your full-time gig.
Yes, sir. And glad to have a day job. I am blessed.
And you studied music and violin at Cal State?
I asked Dr. Fisk, can I take your fiddle class? And he says, I don't teach fiddle, I teach violin.
Well, your show is all about electric
Electric fiddle. So a bunch of fiddle songs. Everybody loves to hear fiddle songs. So I have a 90-minute original rock and roll, outlaw, country and western fiddle review featuring some of the finest violin players in the world.
I love that.
Is this album that you have now, Whiskey Tenor? Is that a
Whiskey
bunch of fiddle
Tenor,
players
living in the country. Yeah, it features different fiddle players. I have one guy, Siddhartha Walker, childhood prodigy. He's great, from Northern California. And Perrine Mizamur, beautiful French lady, another prodigy fiddle
You were
player.
going to bring your lead singer, Tiffany. What happened?
Tiffany, we're going to bring that, but Tiffany Shapiro. She's a Las Vegas, the Performance Arts Academy graduate. So, yeah, she's singing backup, featuring lead, and she's playing fiddle.
We have some cuts of your album here. What is it, Living in the Country?
Living in the Country, title track of
We've
our
got,
new
3
album.
of them, Jim?
10 songs
we've
for
got more.
$10.
10 songs for $10, $1
Yes,
a song.
sir. Yeah.
Hey, Lou,
Can I interrupt 1 second?
Sure.
I just want to ask Kevin, have you ever heard of Michelle Jones?
No.
Oh, she was on the show with me, with Ned and Sally, May 5th.
You want to go down memory lane when you're not on the radio, Barbara?
No, she's an incredible.
No, we're not going to do Do You Know here for 20 minutes.
No,
Okay,
the show's great. She was actually played for Wayne Newton.
Did
she
you?
is
You know who
here
she
in
is,
town.
right?
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you knew Bobby Hicks, who's a big fan.
There we go.
Guy there, Rich. I think
I was
you
going
know.
to ask if you knew Hiawatha Goldberg.
Who was the last guy to have a show on the Strip for fiddle songs? But it was
Charlie Daniels.
No, Papa John Creech.
Papa John Creech.
He did showcase tunes.
Johnny Potash did Charlie Daniels with the fiddle in the show American Superstars. You know that show that Donnie Moore produced along with Mark Callis.
That was at the Strat, right?
At the Strat, 14 years at the Stratosphere.
Well, Whiskey Tenor is going to be the next one, and
then
we have
Shoji
some fiddle
Tabuchi.
songs.
You guys, you're looking for a gig, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you bet. You too.
Oh, of course. We
You
always...
too, right, Len?
Yeah, I'm looking for a gig.
And you too, John.
We're all looking for work.
Me too. You know,
work.
You know, on
We're all guns for hire.
On the unemployment thing, they say now you got to, for us gig workers and us guys now, we have to, and ladies, we have to check a box as we're looking for a job, which is fine. I look for a job every day of my life. How about you guys? In show business?
Absolutely. You're always looking for the next thing. You're setting up, you're lining it up, you're doing different projects. But the
next
thing
big
is
thing.
that in show business, you either sit and wait for the job to come or you create jobs, too. I mean, that's part of it. You got to make your own work. You got to get out there and hustle.
That's what you do, and you just finished a show last Sunday.
Absolutely, over at the Italian American Club.
How'd that go? I was in the bar, by the way, listening to you.
Straight from the bar.
Straight from the bar. How'd
They
that
went
go?
extremely well, actually. We booked a second show, August 5th, right from the stage. Ben comes up, as he likes to do, with a Post-it note to offer me the next date. So it was very nice, and so we'll be doing that.
Post-it note.
A Post-it note.
You come up on stage, put it on
Can you
your
come
forehead?
back on August 5th? I said, yeah, absolutely. So we announced it right there at the show. It'll be great. And then we're also working on a major production together that we can talk about a little bit later if you'd like.
It's a podcast, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, podcasts, entertainment, variety, music. It's gonna have a lot.
A little bit different podcast.
A little bit different than what we're used to.
You know, most of the podcasts are a bunch of people sitting around with headsets and microphones, like we're doing right this minute. This
there's
podcast,
over 2 million podcasts.
so this one is going to be a television show format.
Good.
And hopefully we'll be generating more audience than we have right this minute, by the way. Hopefully.
We got 9 people watching.
9 people. But you know what? We get a lot of views after a period of time. It depends on who's on the show. And when I had, I got to say it, Justin Shandor, he drew a bunch. We had 6,000 views.
He's great, isn't he?
When he appeared on
Absolutely.
the show. He's very, very good.
I mean, even beyond Elvis, he's great.
Well, past Elvis, sure. He's more than Elvis. He's more than that. I want to go to a break right now with another one of your songs, Kevin.
Thank you,
This
Ron.
is Living in the Country, going to break 2. We'll be back with Barbara Brighton and some of her All That Jazz and more conversation with this room of great people.
Living in the country where I want to be. Gonna settle down 100 miles out of town, raise a big family. Don't worry about tomorrow, even about next week. I live in the country and the country's in me. Sometimes I think about you high up on that ridge. Thank God that I found you, 'cause love don't need a bridge. Firewood and fences, that's the life for me. I live in the country and the country's in me. I live in the country and the country's in me. Sometimes I think about
I love country music. How about you guys?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's good stuff, Kevin. Let's go to a break. We'll be right back more with Barbara and everybody else in the room watching Facebook Live.
So you're so over being cooped up and you're ready to get out. Well, get way out and plan your next trip to the Pony Express territory along Highway 50 crossing the awesome state of Nevada, a destination that's rich in outdoor recreation, scenic beauty, history, off-road adventures, and some of the best stargazing in the country, and over 2,000 places to stay, including lodging, camping, and RVing. The Pony Express territory truly does offer something for everyone as you travel through Dayton, Fernley, Fallon, Austin, Eureka, Ely, Baker, and Nevada's only national park, Great Basin National Park, making an adventure you won't soon forget. So get out. We're right here in your backyard and we're open, wide open. Experience the real Nevada and plan your trip now at ponyexpressnevada.com or travelnevada.com. This message, sponsored by Travel Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
And we're back on Las Vegas Rocks Radio Show. I'm Ron Garrett, your host. 670 AM, KMZQ. We're number one now, Jim. Number one. We're the number one show at 5 o'clock on this station. There's no question about it. We are totally number one. And I'll keep claiming that because how do you dispute it? Right? Well, now our audience is growing and growing. Barbara.
Yes, darling.
I'm going to play this for you, and then I'm going to find out what Jonathan Scott's been doing for the last year while he was hanging out with Melissa in the house, and they didn't leave and didn't go nowhere. So we're going to find out about him and his latest uptake. But right now, this is you, Barbara, singing
Got it.
All That Jazz.
Okay.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz, start the car, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold, but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all of that jazz. Come on, put your hands together. I can see you out there. Slick your hair and wear your buckle shoes. And all that jazz, I hope that Father Dick is gonna blow the blues. And all that jazz, hold on, hug, we're gonna bunny hug. I bought some aspirin down at United Drug in case we shake apart and want a brand new start to do that jazz.
That's terrific, Barbara. Where'd you do that one?
Thank you. Actually, I think that was recorded in L.A.
In L.A.?
But, you know, I'm going to be singing that song at Stoney's on Tuesday.
That's what's next. Tell us what's happening. You're opening for the Carpenters, Sally and Ned.
And I'm returning. The first time I did it, actually, talk about country, I had never been to this venue, Stoney's in Town Square.
You been to Stoney's, Kevin?
About 1,000 people. It's huge.
They all came to see you? There's going to be 1,000 there just to see you this Tuesday?
Oh, sure, definitely. Listen, I'm happy just to get out of the house.
You're happy to get out of the house.
No, really, it's a marvelous venue.
I want to say...
Not that, they have all kinds of people, I guess, country people, although I'm not a country fan. I was happy to do the show on May 5th for the entertainers. We were raising funds for out-of-work entertainers produced by James Kelly, you know, with Ned and Sally, and they asked me to be a part of that, along with Lou Gazzara. And it was a lovely venue. And now I'm returning to do a little bit of Joan. We talk, and I'm going to be singing a couple of songs. So I'm just so happy to be there.
You know, I forgot what I was going to say next. I had something on my mind, but then you kept going.
Well, you're my best agent.
That's right. Look at all these jobs we found you.
Well, I can attest she knocks it out of the park,
she
folks.
Does.
You got to go check it out.
That was a good cut. Hang in there for a second, Barbara. I want to switch over to here. By the way, you been to Stoney's Country, Rockin' Country, Kevin?
Yes, I have.
Did you ever play there with the violin people and all that?
No,
Well, there's a spot
that's a spot right there. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Barbara.
Darling.
Get Kevin Gardner Rose a job at this what is it? Stoney's Rockin' Country. Yeah.
Give him a job?
You got all these jobs coming up that you got from the Las Vegas Rocks radio show, so we want you to help.
Okay.
Pass that love right along, Barbara.
Okay.
So,
Thank
Barbara,
you.
are you
Well,
driving to the gigs yet, or are you still taking a chauffeur?
Okay. Hang in there, Barbara. Jonathan Scott.
Yes, sir.
Where you been? What were your shows? Are you still doing them? You had podcasts.
Yeah. Well,
I have a piece of video you teaching some educational something there. And
yes.
So give us a little rundown on what's happening with you. By the way, one more thing before we start. I'm sorry. I want to recognize Alan Glist is listening to the show right now and watching the show. I love Alan, the producer of the Bronx Wanderers, the producer of Menopause, the producer of Thomas John. And
if he could only play golf.
If he could only play golf. I think he's not going to like that.
He's my golfing buddy.
Hey, Alan, can you play golf? Was he good?
Golfing.
Was he good?
He's better than I am, but that's not.
He's on next week with Kathy on the show, and we're going to have a nice conversation about what's going on.
And by the way, you play that all that jazz. There's a great mini-series on Bob Fosse and Gwen Verdon, if anybody's into Fosse. I think it's on Netflix. It's about an 8-part series. It's a great thing. But in 2019, NBA Summer League hired me to start teaching broadcasting at the high school level at Desert Pines High School. And the first thing that I said to the kids is, who here wants to be in front of the camera or behind the microphone, knowing full well they all did, or they wouldn't be in broadcasting class.
That's right.
And then I took them over to Lotus Broadcasting and put them on the radio. And so I started teaching broadcasting at the high school level, and then we were getting set to start 2020 at Southwest Technical Academy. COVID hit, and I took that time to write a curriculum. And I had an epiphany, and you know how painful those can be, on who's teaching the teachers regarding distance learning. How can you expect teachers who've been in front of a live classroom all of their career to know how to communicate on a 15-inch computer screen? So my thought is, if we can combine entertainers with educators, because who knows better about engaging an audience than entertainers, we might be able to help our teachers and our parents with distance and blended learning. So I received a grant to produce a series on education, and that's what I started doing. I was on today. I'm on every Saturday on 12 noon on the CW channel, Channel 6 on Cox, and Channel 33 on the Dish Network. And it's called On Air Education. All the shows are on the website. Done 10 so far. We've had people like Brad Garrett, and you know, certain groups of kids and teachers have it a little more of a challenge, including the special education teachers, because these kids, you know, they'll have them in front of the computer for 15 minutes and then they break them and they can't get them back to the computer. So we had the number one autism teacher on with my actor friend Joe Mantegna, who is on a show about autism, and Cindy Williams, who I met with Alan
Menopause.
Mm-hmm. And you know, so we're doing little half-hour shows to help the teachers in the community, and I love it. I love teaching. You know, I've been on the air for 40 years now, as you have. Whether it's television or radio, you know, it's a whole new world. And what I love is that anybody with a camera in their phone can now be a broadcaster, because it's really about content. If you have engaging content, then people will watch you, and you'll have an audience. But I said to the kids, and I said the same thing over and over, it's not about me and it's not about my guests when I'm doing a show. It's about the audience. Because if you don't have an audience, you may as well just have a cup of coffee or go for drinks with your friends.
What's this little clip I found here of about a minute and a half? It's called On Air Education, animated. It's an avatar. Go ahead and play it. Maybe Jonathan will recognize it.
Yeah, no, I know it. I recognize it.
Listen to it for a second.
I produced it.
Is it okay to play it?
Hello, I'm Jonathan Scott, and welcome to On Air Education, a show dedicated to helping parents, teachers, and students with distance learning. We're coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, the 5th largest school district in the country. Distance learning is now a global topic. I've been broadcasting on television and radio for over 40 years. In 2016, I was inducted into the Nevada Broadcasters Hall of Fame. 2019, I was hired to teach a class in broadcasting. As a broadcaster, you quickly learn that it's not about me and it's not about you. It's about your audience. If you don't have an audience, you may as well share a cup of coffee with a friend. We've learned that our teachers are working harder than ever, communicating on a 15-inch computer screen instead of a live classroom. In our conversations with educators, we've learned that teaching every course of study requires a different approach to engaging an audience. Teaching math is different than teaching science. Teaching history is different than teaching art or music. Teaching English as a second language and teaching special education kids requires a whole different skill set. We have invited entertainers, broadcasters, and educators At least I'm consistent, right?
You just said that, didn't you?
I know. I'm consistent.
So tell me
with
what
the
this
story.
is, though. You produce this, and the avatars, they can't see it, but people on Facebook Live, actually, they can see it.
I started playing around with animation because, again, it's another engagement tool that kids respond really well to animation. And so I made myself into a cartoon, which some people thought was a natural thing for me to do, to be a cartoon. So it's going well. I love doing it, and I love helping our teachers out and our parents out and the kids. So it's a thrill for me. And during the time that there was no shows, because my previous show that I've had for 10 years is Vegas Nonstop.
Right.
Would talk about...
I was on it twice.
Yeah, it's an around-town show. Things to do, places to go, shows to go see, and attractions. But there wasn't any. There was no restaurants that were open.
Right.
There was no shows. Anyway, on-air education, we did the first show at Vegas PBS, and Clint Holmes was my first guest with Monica Jackson and a broadcaster from Telemundo, Viri Vidal. And so that, hopefully we've helped the teachers a little bit and helped the parents a little bit with distance learning and with education. It's still... We're not out of the quagmire, I'll tell you that. We had a history teacher on last week, and I said, how many kids, now that schools are open, are coming to your history class? And he said 3. I said 3%? He said, no, 3 kids.
3 kids.
3 kids.
Wow.
So even though the schools are open, the kids are not necessarily... A lot of them have found jobs, and they're helping their families out, bringing money into the house. So... it is a paradigm shift for me. Instead of what I say, engagement for me has always been comedy. That's been the space that I've been in for most of my career. If I can make people laugh, then I can get my message across. So, but now it's been a paradigm shift. So I've learned that over 40 years I've gained some experience in broadcasting.
Define paradigm for those like me who don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Shift.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Just a shift.
Now, I was going to ask if this has
$20
influence outside of Clark County or Las Vegas, because this is online now.
That's
This is a
Lucas
podcast.
area.
Yeah,
this is
we have
something
viewers.
you can take a world, countrywide, and other country school districts can adopt this into their programs, can't they?
Yeah, it is global. Globalization education is a global situation right now, and statewide we just passed an important bill, a mining bill here in Nevada that's going to give a lot more money to our schools and to our teachers, which is a great thing. And it's been a real pleasure to work with the Clark County Education Association, with Nevada State College. Everybody's been real supportive from the educational standpoint. And again, I'm Bobo the Clown Boy. I'm the Ron Garrett. I'm the ringleader. I'm the ringleader. That's
I know
making
Bobo
the jokes. And
Bozo
Bobo the Clown Boy.
Bozo the Clown.
Bozo the Clown.
Hey, that's me. I used to know Larry Harmon, who actually was the inventor of Bozo, and I would do that whenever
we have another guest on the phone right now.
Yeah, because you don't have enough here now.
No, I know. I got to keep it going.
Let's get a few more people. It'd be like the Marx Brothers stateroom scene in here with a turkey flag around the room.
I do this so I don't run out of things to say. I make sure there's enough people in the room. On the phone right now from Palm Springs is Vegas's newest diva, Miss Rose Kingsley. Hello, Rose.
Hello, guys. How is everyone?
It's a boys' club in here tonight, Rose. We need, and fortunately, we've got you and Barbara on the phone at the same time.
Hi, Rose. Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Sweetie.
Okay, you had your moment, Barbara. Let's listen to Rose now.
If you're fired as my agent.
No, I just can't keep talking about your next show. Let's talk about Rose's next show. I'm only kidding, Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
Rose, you've got a great show coming up starring you, and with Lou Gazzara and Sid the Kid the Man.
Right.
Tell us about that.
That's July 16th at the Summerlin Performing Arts Center, and it's going to be a hot show. It's going to be really great.
And you've been working on it a lot lately.
My conductor from Palm Springs, who played for Johnny Mercer for 20 years and collaborated with him. So we've got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good people.
Well, we're excited about the show. We can't wait for it to happen. It's July 16th on a Friday at the Summerlin, on the Summerlin Theater, Summerlin Library Theater for the Performing Arts. I want to get it right. And Rose, I want to play something from your album that we talked about earlier. This is Cry Me a River. You want to hear that one? Sure we do. Let's listen.
Sure.
Say you're lonely, you cry the long night through. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian, told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove that you do, come on and cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you.
That's beautiful, Rose. Tell us a little bit about that song. Where did you record that?
That album actually received a 4-star review from Associated Press and Jazz Weekly. So it was and it was my first full CD album, so it was very exciting.
Well, that's a really beautiful version of it, no doubt about it. And we're going to hear some of that in July, are we?
You are, and we've got some cool things, and we're excited about Lou. And by the way, Lou,
Yes.
I never realized what a great dancer you are.
Oh, thank you so much. I try to keep the moves going there.
Yeah, I see it.
You were at Lou's show on Sunday, huh?
Yeah, it was great.
Wasn't he great?
And yeah, it was amazing.
Well, thank you. Well, I can't wait to bring that same energy and the excitement to your stage July 16th. I think it's going to be great, and I love that we're going to have a little special collaboration moment there for the audience to enjoy as well, which we're not going to reveal it yet. So.
And one more thing, Rose, you've gone very current, and that's a pun. You've gone very current because you are now getting a Tesla. Is that right?
Yes.
Very current. You get
Delivered on Monday.
Delivered on Monday. Electric cars. You know, I love electric cars as long as they're a golf cart. And, that's the kind I like. But that's 0 to 5 miles an hour in split second with those things. This car is very fast, isn't it? Your new Tesla.
As a matter of fact, you drive, what I'm learning, just stay off the road when I'm in the car in the Tesla. I'm learning, the minute you take your foot off that gas, you stop.
It breaks itself.
Yeah. It's like a golf cart. So I got to practice on the golf cart over the weekend.
We're going to have you back in town real soon, Rose.
Yeah, we'll be back. I'll be back in another 10 days. So
10 days,
can't
all right.
Get rid of me.
Let's say hello to Lisa Mascari and to Mark Maynard as well, because they were down in Palm Springs.
Extended family, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We love them.
Thank you so much for calling in, and we're so looking forward to your show.
See you soon.
Thank you, Rose. Bye-bye. How about that? Isn't that she sang great on that?
I love the way the
that's
intonation.
a beautiful version of that.
Well, that's years of being a professional. To go from one genre to the next.
Every place she goes, she brings the house down.
Absolutely.
She's amazing. We're going to take a break right now. We're going to go out with Eternally by your band again, Kevin
Whiskey
Gardner
Tenor.
Rose.
The song was originally written by a good friend of mine, John Gott, about 20 years ago. And I took it and rewrote it and gave myself a writing credit, the Bill Gates School of Business.
Why not?
There we go. So,
and when we come back from this, we're going to say hello to Len Connell, who's going to give us a little VA information. And then we're going to set up Jonathan Scott again to get his new career going further. We want you back on the podcast, Jonathan. We want you back on the radio. We want you back on TV. You're one of the celebrities here in town. I heard about you when I first got here. Well, maybe not in 1971, but it was in the 20s, 2000s, when I was at the Sahara, and I began to hear about you, and you made quite a name for yourself here in town.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great city, very supportive community, entertainment. I'm blessed with amazingly talented friends.
You got a lot of good friends, and we're going to come back in a minute. Here's Kevin Gardner Rose and his band Whiskey Tenor.
It's another Sunday, early in the morning.
This is Tiffany, right?
Shapiro.
Yeah, Tiffany.
Yeah, great singer and fiddle player.
Okay.
Get myself together, drink a cup of coffee, gotta get a move on, wasting time. Don't you know, baby, I can't stop thinking about you. Don't you think, baby, it's just not right without you. And I know you're the one guy for me. Don't you think we could make it eternally?
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Tom and Levi.
Tom is the smartest man I know. He's been a professor at 2 major universities, been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, he told me that he was having problems in his classes. I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. And he was telling them that he was doing it as a favor to them, but I think in reality he just wanted to get out of there. I was really starting to worry because I saw something was wrong.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me, and my love for him was just immense.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
And we're back on the Las Vegas Rocks Radio Show. I'm Ron Garrett, your host on 670 AM Radio KMZQ. And with us also in studio, and you can see him on Facebook Live, is Mr. Len Connell, my good friend and former talk show host of the Sex and Money Show on KLAV. And, Len, we're going to have I think we're going to have a sex and money segment each week on this show that you need to think about.
We definitely have to do that. We'll get we'll get things going. And thanks a lot for having me on.
But before
really
you get started, the name of the Sapphire should be Sex and Money because that's what goes on out there, right?
Yeah, I've been to those cabana parties out there, at the Sapphire, because for a while the people that ran the Sapphires
You're not married, are you? Not married, are you?
Oh no,
okay,
no,
go ahead
no,
and
no.
talk about it.
I believe in the weekend marriage plan. That's the way we do that. But they had a show on before us for a long time, and I was representing some other clubs like Little Darlings and Larry Flint and ones like that. So we had a nice little peaceful rivalry going back and forth about what we did and everything else. But,
well, when you say you had a nice little piece.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to remember
sex and money. Come
on.
on.
Remember that part of the deal that came with my sponsors was I was the stripper judge. They had stripper contests.
Yeah, it's a tough
and
job.
I dressed up like a judge with a wig and a gavel and all that other stuff like that. And I was the one that awarded the 2 top strippers totally nude a grand prize of $1,500, and then the second team got $1,000. The third team got $500. Now I was under a lot of pressure.
Sex and money right there.
Yeah, and I did that every Wednesday night, and then our guest on our show used to judge Ladies Oil Wrestling, which was really great. And so we did this, and I would go to my mother, and my mother's in her 80s, and go, Mom, it's just a show, don't worry about it. It's just got to keep our sponsors happy. If you see me with all these nude ladies and stuff like that, just remember it's for the good of the cause. It's to pay the bills and everything like that.
Well, you've done so much great stuff for the veterans. You really really have.
Absolutely. Let's shift over there. We had a great Memorial Day, obviously, last week, and we helped the veterans that did not come back. Memorial Day is to celebrate the people who don't come home. Veterans Day in October, the one that do. I want to give a shout out to Troy, who's one of my Marines that work with me. They had a young man who wanted to enlist in the Marines, and his parents threw him out of the house. They said, no, you're not going to let you do it. So what they did was they believed enough in his mission and what they wanted him to do that they all threw together, and they got him a hotel room for the next 45 days until he can report to Pendleton. And that's the kind of dedication, whether it's people that can do a lot for their brothers and sisters in uniform or a small amount, but it's the dedication of the cause, dedication of the mission. Veterans are very giving, outwardly focused people. They live to help others. And that's one thing we have to remember about our brothers and sisters.
Originally, one of the things that Kevin and I met was I was honored. It was my honor to be able to produce the U.S. Marine Corps Toys for Tots show for 4 years, and we did that at the Hilton, and it was great. I mean, we filled the place up. You couldn't even get a parking spot. And Kevin, I thank you for doing that show.
Semper Fi, always faithful.
Yeah, I mean, we would raise tons of toys for the kids every year, and it was a great thrill for me to do it.
It's an awesome cause. You know, I want to talk to the entertainment people because this show is so popular with the local entertainment community. Anybody who's out there that served their country, that has what's called a DD-214, meaning they served for 2 years, they were deployed for 16 days, qualifies potentially for disability financial awards for themselves and their family. And I know right now it's a hard time. People haven't been working. People have been stretching their dollar. They're in all kinds of trouble. The people that are entertainers, you get this financial money for the time you spent and the risk you took. Okay? This is not a handout plan. It is not charity. It is not mercy. It is not pity. You earned it. So please talk to our office. Come see me. 702-473-0410, and we'll have a free consultation with one of our certified advocates and see what we can do for you and your family.
Where's your office at?
We are in Old Henderson, 1300 North Boulder Highway, Suite C. Let me tell you where that is. You know the pick-apart, fantastic pick-apart, where you can go down and get all the stuff in your car? Okay. Okay, do you know where the Joker's Wild is? Okay, it's an old hotel that's down there. We're basically Boulder Highway between Sunset and Warm Springs Road. It's a big building. Sunset Auto is our landlord. They give us a wonderful lease on there. And just come down and see us. Once again, 702-473-0410. Or just talk to Ronnie and he'll pass the message.
What's it called? What's the organization?
We have two organizations. Our nonprofit is called Veterans Assistance Angels, and that's the one that helps all the veterans get their benefits from the VA. It is a 501c3 nonprofit. The one that helps them with other things that come along with that is named after my father, RLC Veterans Assistance.
Hey, Len, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. You're going to call in next week and give us some more updates.
Exactly.
Okay, I've got Sally Olson on the phone right now from the Carson. I'm thinking of Johnny Carson again. The Carpenters tribute show. Sally.
Hi. I have Ned here today, too. Hi, Ron.
Hello, Ned. How are you? We have Barba on. Bring Barba up as well so
Great
they can
Ned
talk.
Mills.
Hi, Sally and Ned. I can't wait to see you Tuesday.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, hi, Barbara.
Hi, darling.
By the way, everybody watching Facebook Live, I lost the audio feed of the radio station. And that happens because of the internet, whatever. But we still got video going, so they can't hear the radio right now. I'm sorry, folks, but you can see us and hear us as we're talking right now.
So Facebook Live is working, but the radio station isn't.
Facebook Live is working, but my iPad is not working. Bringing the sound in from the radio station. But
Always a challenge.
When did we lose it, Lou?
At 47 minutes.
At 47 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Well,
you lost the feed too.
Yeah, I know. Well, I got the video. Is it on there? Video's still going. Anyway, let's not worry about that. We're doing a radio show. Not that. Okay. We're not going to worry about that. Okay.
Now, wasn't Las Vegas Rocks Tony Saka?
Tony Saka, Las Vegas Rocks is Tony Saka's copyrighted phrase.
And so you started. You worked with Tony.
I worked with Tony, yes, and his wife Josette allowed me to continue on the Tony tradition. You know, he had his show from Boulder
Oh, what a
Station.
wonderful. Yeah, the first time I met him was with Sandy Hackett. They were doing a show together. I think it was probably around the 90s.
Well, he was a partner with Sandy for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but he's I'm carrying on his tradition of bringing on entertainers like Kevin, who doesn't get a lot of publicity and promotion, and like Len, who gets a chance to get on, even though he had his own radio show, and so on. And Lou, he's on all the time, but we're pushing Lou big time right now. Going to make him the next famous guy in Vegas.
Related to Ben Gazzara?
Yes, he is.
Absolutely, yeah. First cousin, twice removed.
Matter of fact,
first cousin.
I was watching Roadhouse.
Were you really?
And there's a family resemblance.
So slightly.
He was a great guy.
Is it the fact that whenever I enter the room, stuff gets...
No, you're a lot better looking than he is, but I can see some of the features.
Well, he's a good-looking guy.
I hung out with him here in Vegas.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had a cigar magazine, and
we loved cigars.
The first
day...
I
got to bring Sally back in. She's
sorry, Sally.
Come on back in, Sally, and give us a plug for the show.
Sure. So we will be doing our 5th week. We're out of 6 weeks total at Stoney's Rockin' Country in Town Square on Las Vegas Boulevard with our Carpenters Tribute Concert. So we've got 4 more shows left, coming Tuesday and Wednesday, June 8th and 9th, and then the following week, June 15th and 16th. And we've also got some great opening acts for the remaining shows, including Barba Brighton.
Hey, Barbara.
Hi, do we still have Sally and Ed?
Yes, we do. You can hear them.
Well, Barbara, tell them what you're going to do.
Barbara, tell them what you're going to do.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do Joan Rivers.
Oh, grow up.
Okay. All right, Barbara. You're going to work on your phone skills, Barbara, right?
I love this.
We'll have coffee.
I love you.
Okay, Sally, how's the little doggy Lola doing?
Great. She actually just did a little promo video for our show last night, so you can find that on Facebook. It's pretty funny.
Okay, I saw that. She's riding in a Cadillac.
Rico Suave's watched it 10 times.
No, she's
already.
not in a Cadillac. She's actually you made her mouth move and sing the song.
Yes,
it was great.
yes, you saw it. Yeah,
I saw it. I did.
Doing her little cowgirl impersonation and costume and plugging the show.
It's really cute.
Well, we're going to take another break here right now, so hang in there for a second, and everybody stay put. We've got some more with Jonathan Scott, Kevin Gardner Rose, Lou Gazzara, Len Connell. On the phone is Sally Olson and Barbara Brighton and Jim Dallas behind the board. This is for you, Tammy. This is Wichita Linemen. I know you love this song like I love you. Here it is. Len Connell.
I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I can hear you through the wine, and the Wichita is still on the line. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain.
Guys and gals, by now you know there are non-invasive and minimally invasive medical solutions to hair restoration without side effects, right? Nope. Okay, so you don't know. Doctors of Hair use only clinically proven treatments, from platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to halt hair loss and regrow hair, to the FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser that's proven to regrow hair, to NeoGraft hair transplants that offer discreet, natural-looking results in a week or less with no linear scarring. All of these services are administered by Doctors of Hair caring medical professionals, experts at understanding how devastating hair loss can be at any age. Treatments work for both men and women wanting a natural, thicker head of hair without side effects.
Doctors of Hair. Call now. 702-751-0086. That's 702-751-0086. Or online at doctorsofhair.com.
Doctors of Hair. Now you know.
And we're back on the Las Vegas Rocks radio show. Ron Garrett on a Saturday evening. KMZQ AM 670. Let's start with Jonathan, and we're going to go around the room and wrap this up and find out what's new. Your passion right now, Jonathan, is the education.
It's true, and you can see all the shows at the website or on Facebook at onaireducation.com or just On Air Education. Our main show that we've had for 10 years is Vegas Nonstop. Hopefully we'll be back in the studio and back on the air with Vegas Nonstop in a couple of weeks over at Lotus Broadcasting. But, you know, it's thrilled. I'm thrilled to see the shows start opening up again.
You took a lot of time off. Do you think Vegas is going to get back to the prominence that we had before?
Oh, yeah. When I saw a drunk guy climbing the Eiffel Tower, I knew we were on our way back.
You take a swim in the Bellagio fountain.
Yeah, I knew right away.
Yeah.
Just take a ride down Las Vegas Boulevard. Yesterday, somebody was going to jump off the 15 on Tropicana.
I saw that.
You couldn't get on 15 going north or south.
You couldn't get to the hockey game. That's what it was. That's why everybody was so ticked off.
Well, hopefully we're going to get a basketball team soon. My Cubbies are in first place, so I'm kind of happy about that. Vegas is going to be a sports town, more than it is already, and hopefully our Golden Knights are going to make it all the way to the Stanley Cup. It's been exciting to see sports coming back into Las Vegas as well. Schools are opening up. Who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully we're out of the muck, and hopefully we won't get a fourth wave, as people would say. So I'm thrilled. I appreciate the invitation to be here with you and meet all these fine people, and it's great to be around people. The social distancing was just.
And there isn't a mask in the room right now. How about
no,
I think it's the first time.
Well, actually.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's Mission Impossible, Lou.
Waxed and waxed,
Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you,
and I want you to get back on. You had a great show, and I appeared on it twice, and we had a lot of fun with you.
Yeah.
And what I liked about your show, you did it from different locations.
Yeah, I love doing remote stuff.
It's
a lot of fun.
Kevin,
and what
let's give us a plug for for your album and how people can get it.
Yes, sir. It's send me an email, kgrose65@yahoo.com. That's kgrose65@yahoo.com. And if you can help, I want to get play the national anthem on the fiddle at the Raiders game and do the halftime show would be perfect. And I want to let Jonathan know that I also, besides fiddle music, I play electric violin over the top of the techno house stuff, which would be perfect at that Sapphire pool gig.
Yeah, it would.
kgrose65@yahoo.com. Thank you for having me.
Sally and Barbara, plug the show next week. Both of you.
Okay, June 8th at Stoney's with Sally and Ned opening for the Carpenters. And June 24th, I'm at the Mint doing a couple songs for the Crooners. So I'm very happy.
Good.
Topless.
Sally?
Also, this is Ned here. Performing with Barbara, we also have cabaret singer Brenda Ebert. And on Wednesday, June 9th...
Got Mark Maynard, too.
Mark Maynard and Nellie Norris. Tonight's fun because his lovely lady, Lisa, has this spa. We're offering a free spa with every ticket.
Thank you so much, you guys, and Barbara on the phone. And Lou...
Well, we just launched the brand new Gazzara.com, LOUGAZZARA.com. It's got all the information for the upcoming show August 5th at the Italian American Club and a lot more going on as well.
And Len.
Glad to be here, and we're going to be having our first Honors and Awards dinner for our Veterans Assistance people, and it's going to be at Henderson, Hammers Bar and Grill, 6:30 to 8:30, Wednesday, June the 16th. And once again, anybody that wants to know how to get their benefits from the government, 702-473-0410, or go on the web, www.rlc.vet.com or www.myveteransangels.org.
Thank you, Len. Thank you for listening to the Las Vegas Rocks radio show. Our mission is to get all local Las Vegas entertainers back to work as soon as possible, and that's happening right now. So for now, while we get our party going, we're going to stay positive, creative, and optimistic as possible. Las Vegas isn't going anywhere, and neither are we. Las Vegas rocks. That's what Tony Sacca said. We believe it right now. Here's to you, buddy, because you were right. It rocks, and it never will stop. Good night.
Hold my hand as we walk under the lights. Vegas nights, I'll always remember the love that we shared. Vegas nights. Vegas night.